For the last 4 months, I've been working on a Metroidvania. It's based in a deep underground research facility where things have gone wrong, and it's up to this guy, who's totally not Mega Man, to fix it. Every week we've been focusing on small features to get the game into a playable state. We've got our player, our enemies, our bosses, our collectibles, and inventory, NPCs who you can talk to and get side missions from. For the last 2 weeks we've been working on modifiers. I wanted a system that would allow you to add certain abilities and modifications to the player. I'm a big fan of the GBA Castlevania series, and I really like the way that Aria of Sorrows does this kind of system. In that game you collect souls from enemies and add them to the player, and I wanted to try and add something like this to our game. You see, as the player explores and fights enemies, he will be able to collect mods or mod chips to add to the suit to augment the way that he plays. I want to tie the secondary abilities to the system as well as some movement and offensive and defensive abilities. This kind of system is not really that hard to make on its own. However, the hard part is not making the system. No. The hard part is you have to make the modifier. And I've made a few to test out the system to make sure it's working properly, but you need to make way more for this game to feel complete. Silk Song has 53 tools, Hollow Knight has 45 charms, and Aria of Sorrows has a massive 110 souls that you can collect. So, we've got our work cut out for us. If you want to chip in an idea, you can join the streams on Monday, Wednesday, or Saturday at 6 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and follow. It really helps the channel out. If you're on Twitch, give us a follow. Let's get started on these mods. Hello, how's it going? Welcome. It is a Wednesday morning and we're here. Alexi Cesium, welcome. We have got a lot of things to make. I need to open up my spreadsheet, guys. I thought I would escape spreadsheets by turning into game dev, but it turns out they follow you no matter what industry you go to. Waiting for printer connections. Okay, we don't care about that. Oh, it's really big. Okay, so where are we at? I really want to do this downward slam, but I need to do the art for it. Or I guess maybe I could get away with not doing the art for it. Because that sounds like fun. This is a movement. It's a movement-based thing, and we're going to go into a pogo, which is kind of cool. But also, we've got like a lot of easy things. We can't do that because the glide doesn't exist. We could do glide too. That's pretty easy. Dash and vulnerability. Oh, okay, yeah. There's a lot of like things that are just like straight up. I need to open up a sprite. Faster heal, damage recovery. These are 48 by 48 pixels. These are icons that we need to make, and we have to also. So let's do some of the easy ones, like a faster heal. I'm just gonna make this a cross, right? This is just like a health. They're always what? It's just a cross. Seems kind of skinny. Bit of a skinny cross. Should I make it thick? A thick cross. Like that. Like that's the icon for it. Export as. Where do we go? It goes to Project UI and mod chips, right? And then health. If I can spell, I can't spell. Health fast. Okay. I need to make like a tool to make the design of these mods like fast. It's like, should I make like a tool to make the whole thing go quicker, or should I make them? custom classes, yeah. It's like maybe I could make a designer plugin. Either way, where are these even kept? Under scripts, right? Scripts and chips, and then I've got them here. So if I create new, not a new folder, we gotta come up with fun names for this stuff. Your API needs another API, exactly. It's a resource, and it's a mod chip. Fast heal. I guess like it's probably better to, I'll call it rapid recovery. I think that's a better name. And then in the assets under UI, under mod chips, we've got this, and we can drag that in. The speed at which your systems recover is increased. Okay, so how this works, if you don't know, is we've got just an array of variables that we can target. So what we do is we go to the health container, because that controls the healing speed. Got it right here. Heal rate. So if we look at, we make this bigger. I think it's under the health container. It's not on the player health container. Set health, set max health, add health. Oh, add health. I think that's different. Let's go to the health container. Check health, physics process, if can be, and okay, no, maybe not. I don't even remember. Man, one of the things that I never anticipated when making a much larger game, because like I've just been making game jam games for my entire game dev career, is like you forget how the code is because you haven't looked at it in like 4 months. And I assume that at some point it's going to be like, you haven't looked at this in a year and you have to remember like how it goes. And I guess that just goes back to like being able to, it is this function here. We are using delta. It's being on energy container used. So there's a signal being called out, which has delta, and it's multiplied by the heal rate. So the heal rate does affect the speed. It's too fast right now. It's just because I like it to be fast because I'm lazy, but it really should be something more like 10. This can also be changed by the inspector, so I don't know if it's been affected by that. Player health container, no, it's just like the default value. So if we make it start by 10, we can like add 5 to it or something like that. And how we can affect that, we can do it with a signal, with a global signal, which should be pretty easy. And then that's it. Or we could create an override variable. That's probably easier, so we don't have to create a new signal because we can just use a global. So we can say the health rate is, the amount is the heal rate multiplied by delta plus a variable from the multiplier. Yeah, exactly. So that is, there's a global script that we can store some of this stuff in that makes it a little bit easier, because we don't want to have to create a signal for every single thing. And if it's just a single variable change, then it's easier to just add something to it. So we can say heal rate multiplier. I like that. It's fine. Is it an int? Yeah, I guess we'll make it an int rather than a float. Wait, I don't actually know if it's probably a float because we're doing stuff with delta. And it's just equal to 0 to begin with, right? Go there. And then in the health container, we can say like you've got your base heal rate plus, hang on, I gotta move my keyboard. I've got the number pad from work and it is not is in my way. Everything is in my way. I got 2 mouses, 2 keyboards. Well, a keyboard and a number pad. Okay, heal rate multiplier. And yeah, here we go. Plus override. Stats, the constant, not the class. Dot heal rate multiplier. Close brackets. And so you just add that to it. Should be pretty easy. And then we can just go back to the mod chip for the fast heal. And we can copy. I believe we're doing the same thing with Ultra Grip. So it's override stat request. Go back to fast heal. And there's a specific way this has to be done. By the way, it has to be -1 on the second variable, but the rest is just the name of the variable, the value. So this one's a bool. Same with this one. They're both bools, but this one, new one will just be a number. And this is the duration. -1 means it's infinite. So it's a string name. I can find that. There it is. And the name of the thing is override. No. Well. Your rate multiplier. I don't want to type that out. The value, I think, should be 5. We'll barely notice the difference. It's going to be very incremental. And then we'll add one more element, which is the -1. Okay, and then for the same thing here, when you unequip it, we're going to do string name, heal rate multiplier, the value, which just goes back to 0, and then -1 as well. And that should just be fine. We just need to give it to our player. That's another thing we have to do, is we actually have to give the player the ability to pick these up. Right now, that doesn't exist. It should be pretty straightforward, but I should have probably addressed that too. There's a lot of little bits and pieces we have to do now that the system exists. But yeah, let's just give it to the player and test it out. Let's just make it 10 so that we can really notice the difference. Okay, and then we go to the player, and we go to their current mod chip array, add one more, drop in fast heal. Noise. Turn that off. New game. Okay, so let's go take some damage and just feel that out. Also, I need charge. I need to create another like dev button to give me infinite, or to give me like max everything. That makes sense. Oh, I guess I need to take some damage. Take a hit. Okay, so right now it feels like this. Okay. If I equip this, it feels like this. So you heal more. It's faster, but the degradation rate is actually. So you actually heal more as well. So it's faster and you heal. We're healing more for the same because we're just multiplying by delta. Interesting. I don't know if I like that, but it's fine for what it is. We just need to make that number smaller. We're gonna, but that's not really like an accurate description. The speed at which your system recovers is increased. It's also like the amount, actually. From your recovery systems is increased. Makes me wonder if we need like another variable, because it's like just the rate plus multiplied by delta, not by like multiplied by delta plus like some other thing. Like what's the rate here? There's also like energy container has like a degradation rate. So like you could probably control it here by targeting something else, right? So energy controller is energy used, emit delta. Ah, okay. So it's just, we're just emitting delta. Current energy minus used. So we're just saying use energy. When's this getting called? Oh, if healing, energy consumed, use cost. So there's another here. It costs 25 per whatever. I actually don't know. I need to look at that, but yeah, there's another variable here. Also, I need to look at this because we're going to start using energy for other things. I'll think about it later. That's another problem. A problem for another day. But we can cross that off. What if there's a shortcut for that? Text formatting, strike through. Faster damage recovery. That should be pretty easy. What should the icon for that be? I reckon it's just like an explosion, you know? Something like that. You recover faster from an explosion. Pointy bits. It doesn't really look like much, but we'll roll with it. Export as. Fast recovery. Create new resource. Budget. Fast recovery. What should we call this? Like efficient systems? Give it a name that sounds cool. The suit recovers faster from damage. And how can we control this? Now this is controlled by the damage state, and we have a damage time. Get the right button. Oh my god. Come here. So there's a damage time. So we just change the damage time and that's it. When you exit, when do we reset this? Oh yeah, when we enter the state, we set damage time equals damage time. Damage time remaining equals damage time, and then we just subtract from delta. So we can just, we can wrap that in another override stats. I think that's probably the easiest thing. Damage time multiplier. Is multiplier probably the wrong word because it's not a multiplier, it's an addition. Whatever. And then in the damage state, we can equals damage time remaining equals damage time. Is it a subtract, or we just add and then we make it a negative number? So is this upgrade fewer iframes? Yes, it is. But actually, you know, it's not fewer iframes. It is, you actually get more because this state is the state where you can't move. So when you take damage, you go into this damage state where the character like makes a pose, and then it starts flashing you. You get the invulnerability, but this state you can't actually move in. And so when you exit this state, there is a point in time where you're still invulnerable. So no, it's not the state that you are invulnerable for. It's the state that you can't move. So what did I call it? Damage time multiplier. Right. So I think this is better because if I go to, I don't even know what controls invulnerability. I think it is the hitbox, right? So we emit, okay, there's a animation player for the damage, like specifically, but, and I think that just controls the amount of time that you're invulnerable for. Animation player dot play damage. Damage time remaining. Shooting disabled ended. So you can't attack in this state. So it's advantageous to have it shorter. But I think in the hitbox, the hurt box, one area emitted, connected. It just must be controlled by the animation. How is the flash controlled? Can be invulnerable. There's a, oh yeah, invulnerability time, 1.5 seconds. There. So it's actually the health container that controls that? Because, okay, yeah, so I understand this. Now, it's, so basically, when the hurt box is triggered, it sends that information to the health container and says you took damage, and that then, you know, goes on to process the fact that you got damage, and it tells the state machine that you got damaged. Then there is an invulnerability time where even if you receive that information as the player, it just discards it. So, I think if you go to the actual health container, there's an invulnerability thing here. And when you take damage, if you're invulnerable, it just returns out and it doesn't actually do the rest of it. So yeah, that's fine. So you still have 1.5 seconds of iframes, but we're going to make it so the state that you stay in for damage is actually shortened by, I don't know what, it's already only 0.5 seconds. It's very short to begin with, so I don't know how much we would take off. We'll give you half off because I'm feeling generous. So iframes, but you can move, yes. I always forget the name of everything. Override stat request. String name. And it is damage time multiplier. It's a float and it is not going to be -1. Then it would be, I'll just make it 0.2 and the duration is infinite. Remove item. Okay. Name. Float is 0 and then the interior is infinite. Okay. Oh, we need the icon, which is like this splotch. It's meant to be an explosion. Fast recovery. No. Fast heal, fast recovery, yeah. Let's see if we can tell the difference. Oh, we broke it. What did we do? Invalid access to map area on base type dictionary. What? Okay, so the save is corrupted for some reason. Don't know why. That's concerning. And also the inventory is completely bugged out. Okay, so alright, let's test this out. So you can see here, like he just gets stuck in the air and then just falls back down. So if we equip that, and honestly, I can't really tell. Because it's a very small reduction. No, it's definitely faster. That's a cool little one. Okay. Maybe make it 0.25. So it's exactly half. Because we're feeling generous. Okay. Fast damage recovery. Longer invulnerability. Is that just the same thing? Do we have both? Is that a good idea or is it like bad? I think that's like, we've already got one, we don't need both. Strike through, strike through, strike through. Because, yeah, faster damage, longer invulnerability is like, you know, it's the same thing. I reckon. Is there a way to put that in like the discard pile? So that I know that I've done it. Okay. Dash further, jump higher. I don't know about that. As an idea. Glide duration. Yeah, probably. I don't have a glide though yet. Charge shot. Do more damage at the cost of energy. I like that, but it's gonna take effort. So dash further, jump higher. Yeah, multi-directional dash. I don't know about that. Let's make the pogo. I want to make a pogo. Okay. The pogo. The pogo is really just the dash, but in a downward direction. That's what I want it to be. Your down slam turns into a pogo. Since this guy does range attacks, you can't really have like a physical attack do that. Damn, what freaking code is this? Oh, it's a saver. So the dash, is it super? Oh, we've got the trail. So we just need a pose, which I think I'll just use the damage pose. It's fine. Dirt box. Okay, some of these are kind of dodge. Like this should be an export variable, really. Let's fix this up. Let's break everything. I guess they could just be access unique name. It's all the same really. Dash emitter is... Hello? Is it? Oh, it's not working. Dash emitter is dash emitter. And hurtbox is the hurtbox. Do a quick test to make sure that didn't break anything. This is a problem. I think I've bugged out my saves. I have to look at that later. Invalid access to property key. Is it because I'm not saving the game? Like if I do new... Hey, sewer slide Wayne K. Sewer slide wank. I like your name. I think if I save, it's actually fine. Yeah, the game runs. If I don't... Okay, so that's something to note down, that if you run the game but don't save and turn off, then the game just crashes on startup. So that's not good. Okay, I was going to make sure that the the dash still works. Maybe I can help you somehow? What do you need, bro? Change abilities, add dash. These things annoy me so much. Okay, dash still works. Still invulnerable. I made a game. I can't release it on Steam because I'm in Russia and we have sanctions on us here. That sounds hella dodged, bro. Can't you just do a VPN? I don't know how these things work. I don't live in a country that gets sanctioned. Yet. We shall see. I'm not gonna release your game, if that's what you want. Wouldn't that make me complicit? I guess I'm Australian. I don't even know if these things apply to me. My only options are find a publisher or someone to create a store page for me. So you find a publisher. There's gotta be plenty out there. I actually don't know how that works. Well, shall I spin up a publishing house? Start publishing people's games? I can send a link to the gameplay. Yeah, sure, dude. Join the Discord. And then you can send me a DM. I'll play your game and I can see. Maybe I will want to create a publishing house. New business venture unlocked. The easiest thing to do from a game state perspective in terms of that bug is to when we do like a new game from menu is just to save immediately after that. A new game from menu, like load in-game menu, like at this point, do a save. Is that hard for me to do? I think we just need to call update player. Save game.update player, dot of the save. And it takes a data dictionary. So I'd have to build this data dictionary. Save station. Game state.save state. Oh, there's another game state.save state. Game state dictionary. Or that reloads the game, so don't do that. And then it just calls update player, right? Yeah. Okay, so we just need to call update player, but we create the save station. If we go, this is the dictionary we need. I think I've sent it. Cool, I'll check it out later, dude. And also check that I'm not going to be violating some kind of international law myself. I don't want to just end up in my hot water. I don't want to land myself in hot water. Land in hot water myself. I freaking don't know the words. Language. That'd be a fun little thing. It depends how much money it costs, right? Because like the whole point of a publisher is to take off some of the risk, like aside from your situation, like you're meant to like publish a game and do marketing and stuff like that. Like you're reducing some of the risk of the person you're publishing for, which is the whole reason it exists. Steam fee is my only roadblock. Hey, listen, you said something and now my brain is like business. I'm thinking business. Add player in scene. Eat a drone. Dude, they all throw in drones at each other. It's actually crazy. That shit freaks me out, man. I'm never ever like, if shit goes down, I don't ever want to get involved, because you will just be a guy in a field running away from a random ass drone. That's how it's going to end for you. And it's crazy, man. I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want that to happen to other people. Yeah, I've seen them on like X or Twitter. I've seen them on Twitter and I'm looking at this like, I don't know if that's legal, right? Like this dude's just running in the field, terrified. Like, what are we doing blowing him up for? Like, why are we doing that? New game from menu. We want to save, soft saved? What do we call this function? Call it a soft save player. So this will be a good function to have because I will get to be able to occasionally save in situations where I want to save the game, but I don't want to like do what a save station does. And also like potentially, oh yeah, player data. Player data, player.global position. Is that what the player's called in this scene? It is player, right? I'm gonna get file name. That we don't need, which is just the current scene. And the map area is current scene dot map area name. So that's that, and then you just call save. What are we doing? Where's update player? Do we just call update player? No, go back. We're looking at the scripts. We need to look at the functions. Update player. Data to save. I mean, honestly, last thing, a counter list map area. Like, to be fair, like I did all that. Like realistically, the soft save is just this. And if I go back to soft save, we have that information already. I don't need to create like a data to save. And then instead of reset health, we just save game. So that way it's not like you're saving at a save station. We're just like passing the information off to to the actual save game state and say save here. And then we go new game from menu, and then once we add the player in on level change, that's good. Everything is set at that point. We can call soft save here on a new game. And then also like certain things, like maybe after you beat a boss, we can do a soft save or something like that. There's places where this will be useful. But yeah, soft save player. Okay, so let's test that out to make sure it's working. Let's delete all the saves. Just go new game. Okay, it didn't crash, which is the main thing. And then if I close and I play, it's going to be there. It doesn't quite have all the information. It's missing some stuff. Can I call it instantiate? Okay, that's interesting. Discovery list is all blank. Your item list is there. What are we looking for? The level? I'm guessing the level's not set, right? So what's blank here? The scene, new level. Like all this stuff. Fresh load level, new scene. Scene is blank. So when we fresh load level, scene path is blank. So that hasn't been set yet? Okay. Interesting. Progress. So when does the scene path get set? Love it when you find a little bug. Scene, okay, wait, go back to save state. So I'm guessing the last scene. Last scene is blank, of course, because we're not setting it, but we can do that. New game, right? So we just gotta set current. Our scene path is equal to current scene path. Okay. Or we could just pass in the current scene path here. Is it important to know that? How often does that get set? 11 matches, quite a lot. So when we update the player, when we fresh load the level from a save state, when we get a game over, load game from menu. Wait, so if you started a new game prior to this and you died, would the game crash because the last scene path isn't set? That's what it seems like to me. Hang on a second. If I never call this, am I finding more bugs? Just things you never test. And we go new game. If I die, what's going to happen? Because there is no last scene. Like if we go to the remote, yeah, and we go to the game state, and the last scene path is blank. So if we just take damage until we have to die, it does crash. 3 months I've been working on this game since I've created that like save system, and I'd never realized that. That's crazy. Probably because I put a save station right at the entrance, so I could test out saving and loading really easily. There's a long time for a bug like that to be present. That is a bit silly. Okay. Well, we found it now, I guess. Are you planning to sell this eventually? Yes. This will be my first commercial title. But we're very early days. We've been working on it about 4 months. And it's going good. We're sort of at the point now where most of the features are in place. Write notes in the headers to punish your future self. What kind of notes? I need, like, I'm not a professional, so, like, I need a deeper explanation to what you mean there. Fresh load level. So yeah, I should, when I soft save play, I should set the last scene part to the current scene. I think other than that, it's fine, right? Okay, let's get a game over. There's a description of what the script does and then any adjustments made plus a to-do. You get the idea. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, look, a bug. Okay. All right. Progress. The location hasn't been set either. So I guess if I go new and then I play the game now, it's going to be, yeah, at the 0, mark. Okay. Funny. Usually if there's a description of what the script does and then the adjustments made plus a to-do if you get ideation. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. Did they just lose their entire head for a second? Yes, because the sprite is all split up, so the head's separate from the body and the arms are separate from the body. And what happens is when you climb, because I was lazy when I was making the climb animation is just one sprite. And so in order to achieve that, it's all on the body. So everything else gets turned off when you climb. And if you take damage while you climb, they don't get turned back on because the animation gets overridden at its exact position. When you take damage, you have to go into the damage state animation. And so until, like, when that animation ends, the climbing animation ends, the sprites get turned back to normal. I'll fix it at some point. I actually just have to, like, export, because being split up, it was, like, kind of annoying, but I've got a system in place now to make it more bearable, which is, when I do animations, I add all the new animations to the bottom of the sprite sheet manually, rather than just like exporting it out again and then finding all the new positions and stuff like that. It's way easier just to put them at the bottom manually. So, the other thing we need to do for that new game from menu on this soft save is also set the player location. Player location is equal to player.global position. If that exists, add player in scene, game.start.global position. This could be a bit dodgy just because of the flow. So the load in-game menu, what we could do a way around this. Start. Because like now I'm thinking this isn't really going to help because your global position, you've added the player in the scene at the game start global position. But that doesn't, just depends if that has like created the player and placed him there at that point in time yet. If that makes sense. So it might not work, and there's a way that we can fix that if it doesn't. So I am expecting this to not work, but I would be happy if it does. I need overrides to just kill myself. I need a button that I can press. Okay. No, it did work. So that's fine then. So now we've got a soft save. We don't have to save the game and we can just close, and then when we reopen it, some of these labels are a bit buggy, but it'll come back to where we were. We can fix that as well, surely. So the last scene path, player location, player map area has not been set. So how does the map area normally get set? Because that's the part that tells you like, oh, you're in this place or you're in whatever on the save. It's just like a visual thing. Data.map area. I make an F key to set hit points to 1. You can just suicide test something if the game needs features. Yeah. Make a function key. I'm assuming that's what the F key means. I wonder if there's a way in Godot to like do a check to see if it's a dev build. Because like if you export, you can say that it's a debug. Debug and release or no? So like, is there a way for me to be like, oh, this is debug, so then I can press Control F1 or F1 and then just like the player is going to have 1 HP? And then if you don't want none of these controls to work, then it gets put into the like a different thing or something like that. Godot has an assert. Yeah, for sure. But like, can I do that? So if I go to the player and I go to the health container and whatever, for whatever, so if we set up a like a project settings input and add a new action called like dev reduce hit points. Damn. Don't show built-ins. And we make this like F1. Right. And then when we go to like the player health container and we go and we create like a unhandled input, and then we go if event dot is action pressed dev reduce hit points, do we go if editor or engine spare F10 is usually referred to F is really usually reserved for exit. Okay. Debug. I don't know, man. There's got to be something I can do to check here. Check if debug build. Debug mode. There is an issue I cannot solve, mainly because I create. I'm on Reddit. There is an issue I cannot seem to solve though, maybe because I can't recreate. Most of my students keep showing the screenshot of the game they have all debug mode in the game title at the top of the window, even when they export their game. Game title.debug. There's a checkbox export with debug after ticking export project. I doubt. Thanks, I can look at it. Was added in 3.2, I guess, assuming debug. If you mean run it, there's a debug build. The suffix will be added. You can even check if it's a debug build in the code by calling os.isDebugBuild. If you want to, if you want, you can always change the window title during runtime, even if the debug build with the OS set window title. Okay. So that is it. It's not engine, it's os.isDebugBuild. We can just say if not. In fact, we can put that just like, yeah, that's fine. And then you can say, set health, I guess, is probably the function. Set health, and it can just be 1. It's going to look very visually strange. Yep. There's a tiny little red pixel. And so now I can just easily... I guess that's pretty good. Like, we can just... we can also, like, give ourselves hit points as well. Make it like control +1. Can you do like control +1? Okay. Control +1. Oh, control F1. Control F4 is the one that... No, that's alt F4. Or like accidentally like overwrite window commands or whatever. I didn't actually set a function for that. I just created the button. Getting a bit distracted today. It's alright. Yeah. Did this break? Oh, it did. It's so annoying, man. Oh, so many windows. Radio blackout for me if distracting. No, it's not. It's okay. They're all just things that need to come together eventually anyway. Because like some of this stuff, it's good to have. You know what I mean? So we can just, if we put this at the top, none of this can, if debug build, and then we can do the check. And then we can set health, be 100. So now I don't have to heal or anything. And it can only work in the debug build. Totally safe, but probably not. Yeah, cool. So now we can have health and not health and all that kind of stuff. And for the sake of protection as well, in the game state, there is actually in the menus, save me having to like potentially having to like, I will try to remember to remove this anyway, but when I'm sending it out for like demos and stuff, we can still leave it in there, I think, and have the secret menu only show. Now what controls the secret menu? It's not the secret menu. Is it the game state? That would be weird. Oh, I suppose like the thing that this sits within. If OS is debug build. So there, just in case I forget to remove that later on. Sweet as. Okay. Back to my favorite thing, creating mods. Scripts. Mod chips. Chips. Okay, what were we at? Oh, that's right. We were kind of like, some of these I'm a bit hesitant on. And then others, I don't know about dash further or jump higher. That feels like, A little bit dodgy. I want to put them in the pile of like, I don't know. And then yeah, power shot, full energy consumed. That's cool. But also, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go to the toilet and then I'll be back. I feel like I heard screaming outside. That was weird. Kids playing, maybe. What time is it? 7 AM? Could be. Maybe someone's being murdered. Australia moment. Yeah, I'm like, what is that? It could also just be an animal. Sometimes animals just make those noises, you know? Although it's not really the time that you would hear a bat. Bats, like fruit bats especially, sound really weird. I remember the first time I heard one, I was like, what the? Maybe someone's being murdered. Yeah, I don't know. Nah, that doesn't happen around here. It'd be very, very unusual. I think if something like that happened in my neighborhood, like the Facebook group would be blowing up. People would be losing their mind. There was, you know what? Now that I say that, there was like a string of unusual deaths, I would say, and people were losing their freaking minds. And they weren't like murders or anything. It was just like a string of unfortunate events where people's remains were found in public, which is pretty disturbing to begin with. And then everyone was like, oh, there's a serial killer. And then the police are like, no, this isn't suspicious. Like the police were like, that's not like that. And then everyone on Facebook was utterly convinced that it was. So just out of curiosity, if anyone fires homing missiles at the player character, he can fart Chaff to evade them. That would be pretty funny. There is a monster that does that, or an enemy that does shoot homing missiles, and there's no way to avoid them as far as I know. I'm pretty sure they just infinitely follow you. It probably would be worth putting like a timer on that. So there's this guy over here. He's pretty easy to evade because he's like, obviously he's right below this. I don't know if he comes further. Does he fit underneath this? Maybe he doesn't. I don't think he can fit, so he doesn't come this way, but this thing will literally follow me forever. Oh my god, there's too many enemies. So look, it runs faster than me. Yeah. There's nothing you can do to get away from that. But we could have something. I don't know. That's another thing That would be funny though. Like a defensive type. Like Chaff. Flares, I don't know what it's called. To avoid homing missiles. A worthy idea. Okay, I've been like I've been putting off creating the down dash. It's a node. It's not a down dash, it's a down slam. Right, it is going to actually be an offensive move. You will be able to do damage with it. At the request of my wife, she would like the ability for this character to jump on enemies like Mario. And in order for that to thematically make sense, I think a downward slam makes more sense than just being able to jump on them. So, it's a movement state. It's going to be pretty much just the dash, but ultra kill style, yeah, I suppose, yeah. You'll get all so basically it's going to work the exact same way like Pogos do in a lot of other modern Metroidvanias, because I think like, I don't know if Hollow Knight invented the Pogo, but like it definitely popularized the Pogo in Metroidvanias, because like if you play a lot of older ones, they don't really have that as far as I'm aware. But like now pretty much every game has it. I've played, what is it? Nine Souls has got one. Mio, I've been playing that. It's actually really good. Has one. May not have invented it, but Team Terry definitely perfected it. Yeah. Yeah. Nowadays, it's like you can't have a Metroidvania without one. Although maybe there are some that don't do it. Great Gianna Sisters reversed it and made it a spiky afro damage. Inverted. I mean, some games they do like a slingshot as well. Like people have like all sorts of different things. But we're gonna do a down slam, so it can't be attached to the attack because obviously like we're just shooting, so that doesn't make sense for us. So we need a separate button, which is fine. But we'll do a full reset. So if you hit an enemy with a down slam, you'll get a jump, plus you'll get your double jump, your dash, and your down slam refreshed. Those are the things that get, yeah. Okay, so we need to attach a script. I do like the dash. I'm gonna copy a lot of it, but it is fundamentally different, so probably not. It extends motion, so it doesn't. The down slam, it probably actually needs to inherit in air, because you're always going to be in air when you do this. And it's just player state. Scripts. Player state machine, states, down slam. Create. And then from this, I don't know how we unlock this, if it's going to be a permanent unlock or if it's going to be a mod that you can unlock. I don't know. But first we need to create an animation. And I think we're just gonna take the damage animation. That's generally my thing with this. I take the damage if I don't have an animation, so he's just gonna look like he's splayed out. But it's kind of like he's a bit sideways, so I feel like it'll make sense. And it's not, we don't, I guess we do it in the animation tree. And we create a transit. Look at all these transition states, man. So we don't need to really create new animations. What we can do is we can create a new transition to a down slam. Hot noodles, yeah. Yep. And we can almost duplicate the damage one. Can we just copy and paste? Does that work in here? Nope. Okay. It's just a blend 1D, right? Okay. See, the thing that always kind of annoyed me with, that annoys me, present tense, with the animation tree is that it's not like other node editors. Like I guess I'm used to Blender where you could have like multiple strings from this. So I could connect this to this, and then I could also connect this to this. But it's like, yeah, you can't do that. So you have to create a duplicate one. Damage left, damage right. Connect that. Fill in a request with a short video. I'm sure someone else has asked that question before. I have to check. I'll have to check to see if someone's got an open request for that. But yeah, well, now we've got the animation, so we can code that and make it. Ah. Okay. Is it a part of the thing yet? It is. Okay. The windows are always getting messed up. Enter. And then nim player dot travel. I don't know what am I forget like all the stuff. The commands. It is animation player. Oh, it looks like this. Okay. My new engine will be called the Noodles and Signals. I like it. I've got all of the signals. I've got all of the noodles. I love when Godot yells at me for typing function and then being halfway through writing the name of the function. Oh, dude, yes. Yes, 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 yes. One of my pet peeves as well is like if you create a function, like some func, and then you say that it's going to return like a variable like this, and then before you even finish, like you go, oh, some bool. And it's like, you don't, not all code paths return a value. And it's like, I haven't finished yet. I've finished. Game soup. This is the soupiest game soup that you've ever souped, right? It is. I mean, it's all right. Some aspects of it could be better. Slapping is not optional. Animation player just does that, and then we're gonna set a variable. It's kind of like a jump. I mean, it's not any different from the dash, right? Because a dash is just a jump, and a jump is just a dash, and all that kind of stuff. We can make the speed of this. I don't have any issues just using the same velocity variables. Damn, I'm hungry for soup now. I've never really been that much of a fan. So instead of setting the y velocity to the dash velocity, the x velocity to the dash velocity, we can set the y velocity to the dash velocity. We could also like make it different if we wanted to. So get dash velocity, dash distance, dash duration. This one's going to be infinite because we're just going to go down. So yeah, I feel like we could just do that. We just set like an arbitrary speed. I don't normally do that. I normally like to use distance versus dash. Start with a free fall and then leave the dash down for another power up. Yes. This will be something that you get later on. It won't be something you have straight away. I don't know how you acquire it. I'm still thinking about that, but like it's gonna exist. Probably as a permanent upgrade, seeing how ingrained like pogoing is in the Metroidvania genre now. People like, I can't make it something that you equip to yourself because people want to have it equipped all the time. So it's probably a permanent upgrade, and then we can just create like different modifiers around that. So do we just create like a down dash velocity? Down slam velocity. Pogo fall is natural, pogo dash is the upgrade. Interesting idea. What do we make this? Just go like 128. It's pretty fast. It's twice as fast as the jump speed, right? We could probably just make it so it does more damage and stuff like that. So then we have to say velocity equals 0 when we enter this state, so we stop moving. And then we actually update that velocity change.emit. Velocity. And then we need to set the velocity for y. Velocity.y equals data dot down slam velocity. But it's negative because... No, well, it's positive. Positive is down. Chaff, can the player jump higher if they jump after a ground slam? They could. That might be a bit difficult to code, but yes. There'd be a couple of different ways we can do it. We could create an entirely new state, or we could create some kind of override variable that gets passed on. You could even set the velocity within the down slam for the Y before you enter into the new one. There is a way, I think, within the state machine to pass variables around. But no, that's not for velocity Y. It's just a static variable, so it's automatically shared. So velocity Y equals down slam velocity. And then... yeah, I mean, what else is there at that point? You'll just go down in the process function, state process, state update, I should say. You just want to be going velocity change emit, velocity. Just like you're infinitely going to go down at that speed. You know, it's not like a jump. It doesn't run out. So I guess we have some options. I like how this works. Like it could just be like infinitely down. Like if you press this button and you're really high up, you're just going down and there's no way you can get out of it, which is kind of funny. Or you give them a way to exit this. Like you press the jump button. If you haven't hit the ground, you're going to like jump, or you go back to fall, I should say. You can cancel it somehow. Maybe if you press the button again. Oh, sorry. And this is entered into in the in-air state. So if you're in air and you so then we can say if event is action pressed dash down. I need to create a function for it. It's going to be dash plus down, but project settings. So dash is C. So down dash, down slam, filter. Add. So what dash is C? So it's down plus C? How do I do both at the same time? I actually don't know. Interesting. Optional physical key code, key label, case sensitive. Key code, Latin equivalent. Need to have down action and dash, then check they're both pressed. There's a way to do it in Godot, but I don't remember how. Key combinations. Godot 4.4 default key mapping cheat sheet. In case you do 2, then input checking if this and this, then do something rather than monitor listen to what character, because like I don't want it to be default editor shortcuts, essential Godot shortcuts, input map using multiple keys like control plus up archive. Yeah, but like control up is possible because you can do control plus down, that's no problem. But you can't do like A plus across or whatever. Kind of old stuff. If you don't care if the actions were pressed previously, then using physics process is easy. Oh man, this is a lot of really outdated advice. Input map multi-key. Hang on a second. Click the plus. Oh, yeah. I guess the other way that I could do it, Command Control Auto. Automatically reunits between meta and command control. Additional options. I don't know why you can't just do like a multi-combo here, but you can do for alt codes. I guess, yeah, I guess I can just do like an if and situation. Yeah, I guess like the advice is just to do like a logic check. I don't really like that. It'd be way better if it was able to do it in here, but I guess it can't, so we'll just roll with that. Apparently back in the day you could, but the engine didn't like it. Oh well. I guess that's what we'll do. in air. Where's the script going? So you can say if action pressed is... See, the thing is, we got to do this check before dash and event is action pressed. Enter event. So it is action pressed. Down. We don't need a down slam. You put those two together and then you can do a down slam. Right. Now you got to check this before you check to see if dash is pressed. Otherwise, it's always gonna emit. And then I guess like you got to do. It's something to think like, you know, at some point. Probably just write that here. Like, find a way to like handle this if there's a little bit of delay. Just in case, because like it might be difficult to execute. Let's just check. So if you're in the air and you press dash and down, then you go into down slam. Is that the name of the node? I don't know if it'll work very well right now, but... And you can't exit this state. Down slam is the name of the node. So velocity changed, emit, and then you can just say if ground check... Does ground check return a variable? No, it doesn't. You just call ground check, and when you hit the ground, you go into whatever the heck. So you could, in theory, you could queue up a jump from this. It doesn't return a void. Ground check just does like jump queuing. How do you get into the... Wait, hang on a second. How does fall get back into the idle? Ground check delta. Wait, what the heck? Update gravity? Finished emit volt? Oh, getting that state from input. That's it there. Okay, yeah, ground check is the thing to call. I get confused. Put a note here. Okay. Right, so this is really basic at the moment, and it won't even work. Hey, just Covino, thank you so much for the raid. How's it going? How's your stream? Right, I got a little nod off. Thank you for the follow, Labricorn. I really need to automate that. Hey, what have you been up to? How's your game going? Where is it? There it is. It was rough working on disconnections and reconnections. Right, yeah, multiplayer, eh? This is the 3D space game, right? Have you got a Steam link for that yet? Astro Yoinkers? Oh yeah, YouTube is the link. I mean, I think most of the people in the Twitch chat are from your chat, but thank you so much for the raid. How's things progressing? Is the release looking on the horizon? It says 2026. Throughout the universe, unstable energy has become scarce, and it's up to the asteroid yoinkers to yoink energy crystals from the cosmos to fuel their teams. Alright, so we're gonna... Let's like capture the flag, is it? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Wait, is there a demo? Planning to release in June, just at that point where there's smaller and crucial things to do, yeah. Nice, dude. I'll definitely play. Like gonna be updating the Steam page tomorrow with a gameplay trailer and new pics. Nice. Game's gonna be a banger. I agree. I can see the chaos already. Slinging around these asteroids. That's cool, dude. Can't wait. Now we are doing, we're trying to do a ground slam into a pogo for our Metroidvania. We got our little guy here, and he's pretty much, we're getting to like feature complete stage. Kinda, not really. I like to say that, but I know in reality, the down slam isn't even working. Invalid on base object of type string. We haven't even set this up properly because we need to add it to our data list of states here. So we need to add down slam here, like this. And we're going to say that it's on and add that as a key value pair. And we'll probably also need to just delete the save file. Try that again. Okay. So the down slam is meant to be down plus dash. Let's just add the dash ability, and let's just add all the abilities to the character. Double jump as well. It is Mega. It's totally not Mega Man. So dash is this button here. C. It's C. So I should be able to, when jumping, do like a down slam. I don't know if it's going to go up, down. It's going to look ridiculous. I can't even do it. Yeah, it doesn't work. I don't know how to do key combinations. Something that we have never looked at before. Key combos. I want it to be the dash button plus... The dash is beautiful, thank you. It's nice and simple, very much taking from like Symphony of the Night with the trails. So, how do we do it? A button combination? I've never had to do one before. I guess I could just give it a number. I can give it a different, to test it, because I don't know, and I just need to like, just make down slam like A. No, that's the heal button. Can we just make it F? I don't think F is taken. Okay, down slam is F now. And we'll worry about button combinations some other time, because I don't know how to do them. Clearly. In here. And we say if event dot is action pressed down slam, and it's F. I think Goose Fat, welcome to the chat. How's it going? Is that a meow? It didn't sound like it to my ears. Okay, so guys, it worked. Oh, it's a bit slow though. I'd expect it to be faster than if would a timer work? Press a button, start a timer. Yes, I have to do some kind of queuing. You know, like it's gonna be something like that, because I was Googling before to see like does Godot support like button combinations in the input map, and the answer was no, it doesn't. And so it's like, okay, well, you could just do an if and, but yeah, the timing of things has to just be like really precise. Okay, so the down slam velocity, let's double it first of all, 256. And still slow as hell. I wonder, it's maybe because it's not accelerating. Like fall, you get faster as time goes on. I'm just going to keep doubling it until I see a result. It doesn't feel like it even got applied. Let's just make it like 1,000. And I probably want to come up with a more intelligent way to set that variable rather than just giving it a number. Yeah, it's the same every time. There's no way that it'd be different. I wonder what influencing that. Ground check. Down slam velocity, velocity.y. We're not doing anything with gravity, so there can't be anything going on there. Yeah, wait, can I see in the debugger my velocity? I forget. I feel like there's something overriding the number. Current velocity. Right, so it goes up to like 400 when you fall. But this is just 42. Like it's the same. It just gets set at whatever velocity I was falling at already. From the looks of it. Yeah. Okay. So that's not right. So does this just do nothing then? Interesting. What is going on here? Dun, 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 dun. Where is this going to be found? Gravity is 980, but we're kind of ignoring gravity here. It doesn't really tell me much. Let's just remove that breakpoint. I feel like I didn't learn anything from that. It is working. You know what it is? It is the fact that it was not a saved piece of data. So, interesting little thing about how the save data works is that these variables can be changed and they are restored via a JSON file. So you can't really, if you change a variable, the speed, it needs to be updated in the JSON file. Unlock states, sprint duration, stopping acceleration, time to jump, time to land, all this kind of stuff is in the save data. And I don't know about that, but it is what it is. I feel like 56, so I have to just like create a new game every single time. That's super annoying to test. Create a button to increase it, or something like that. Yeah, 256 is way too slow. Oh, 512. Gotta feel good. Yeah, that's probably fine. So right now, that doesn't do anything. And if I climb to the top, the funny thing is, like if you did this, you'd actually fall. I don't have a terminal velocity on the falling, which I probably do need to implement. So like if you jump down, there's a big hole at the top of this spire that I can climb. And if I climbed all the way up that, then I jump down, I am going to actually fall slower by down slamming than if I just did that. Is this a 2D scene? It's both. There is a 2D scene and behind it is a 3D scene. Oh, I'm gonna have to fight things. That's okay, it's super easy. So you've got both. It's basically a 3D scene projected on. So we're gonna have the background be like a 3D scene. And it'll be I don't, like, it's one of those things, it's an idea right now. Oh, go save. Save. How long have I been working it? About 4 months. So we're almost getting to the point. I've been focusing a lot on adding all the features rather than building out the levels and the world. So the world has stayed pretty static, and I've just been adding things like, we just finished adding the inventory. We added the map and a modifier menu, so you can add mods, like you can maintain a sprint. So you can add these in and sort of change the way that he plays. Like this one here is going to make you, so you just hold down the fire button and you'll shoot, but you're going to do half as much damage. So you can fire rapidly, which means you might get more hits, but you're going to do less damage. Or you can, this one here, it's, the icon's pretty bad, but you can recover faster from damage. So right now, when you take damage, you're disabled. Your movement is disabled 0.5 seconds. This will change it to 0.25. This like doubles the amount that you heal, so it's a bit OP. You can sprint, so after you dash. So right now, when you dash, you just go back into like a walking state or the same speed. But if you equip that, you're gonna sprint, and the animation's a bit bogus, but. So we've got a lot. That's the last thing we've been working. We're trying to expand out the abilities and stuff like that to create. I estimate I need about 40 of these modifiers in order for the game to feel right. So I think it was, I looked at Hollow Knight and Silksong. They have like 45 and 50 respectively tools. I think they're called charms. I was looking at one of the old Castlevanias. Aria Astora on the Game Boy Advance has 110 different, they're called souls in that game. Okay, so we were going to do a test. Let's just do a quick save here and jump over this annoying thing. So if I jump down, like the guy, he falls from the camera, right? Like he goes, wait, we can actually see how fast we go as well. So let's go back over here, bring up the debug menu. So we get up to about 1,000. So I think we also need to consider adding a terminal velocity for our character that is something less than whatever we're down slamming. So down slamming is faster than actually just jumping, because that's kind of silly. So we just sit at the same speed. Everything looks a bit strange. So when we're falling, that's pretty easy to do, I think. We can add probably to our player data. Where did our script go? Do this, okay. So, to our player data, I think we're just gonna add a terminal velocity. Not our player data, our state data. Our movement state data. I think not here, but somewhere around here. Export bar. Terminal velocity. Terminal velocity. Wait, I wonder if 256 is too low. Maybe like 64. It needs to be a multiple of that, I think, at least. Because I'm bad at maths. 64 times 4 is 256, so 64 times 5. Is that 320-ish, maybe? And then in the fall state, this is the fall state. We should probably do a check. Gap velocity. In this function, turn time to, okay, so this is a velocity for all of the velocity. We're just doing data get velocity, jump distance, time to apex land. So this is this function correct? Data, jump distance, get velocity. Get velocity, right? We do a velocity y dot. Is that how we're determining the fall? The fall is definitely determined differently, right? Like that's not quite right, I feel. Get back. Update gravity. It's got to be from the gravity function, actually. Velocity y plus equals gravity times delta, right? We're passing into gravity. It's not 980. There's a default value, but it's actually determined by get for gravity here. So we probably put the, because we're continuously adding to that in the other function in motion here, where we're just going plus gravity, we put a clamp or like a max value, because we're adding, because positive is the falling value. So we can go max data dot terminal velocity. And then the other variable here. So it's going to be the greater of the two, or should be min, the smaller of the two. And then that way we will have a terminal velocity. Do a new game just in case. Oh, accidentally talked to the dude. You should only be able to do that when you're on the floor. We have to climb up to the top. I need a way to like move around quickly, eh? Add that to the list of debugs that I'm gonna need. Oh, I'm getting chased. What's the blue bar under your health? It's energy, so you can heal. It's very similar to like other. I guess I think I ripped this straight from Hollow Knight. To be honest, because except for the fact that it's like instantaneous and way OP, I'll probably need to change that. So you can heal, and I'm also going to add the cost of alternative abilities to it. So you'll be able to, for example, shoot a rocket. I want the player to be able to shoot like homing missiles as like so like you can obtain these mods, right? So you can get mods that I haven't put it in yet, but we'll say like an attack mod, an attack modifier that you attach, and it's got like an extra attack, and so there'll be an extra action button somewhere that you can press to shoot, and it's going to cost energy, or you can use it to heal. Okay, we're definitely not hitting, we're going past terminal velocity for sure. Check the code on that. Oh god. Should be able to test from here. Even that fall, you're going past 500. It was like 800. Okay, so why didn't that work? Min is the smaller of the two, so if gravity times delta is greater than... Oh, a plus equaling. We gotta... Okay, yeah, okay. I understand now. Yeah, we're always going to be smaller than terminal velocity. Okay, so we will need to do like velocity dot y equals clamp. And then the value is velocity dot y. Minimum value is velocity dot y. I don't know. Is that feels wrong? What's it? Clamp? Dude, I'm having a moment. Clamp F is probably better, but yeah, I suppose I should just refactor back to this entire thing. Rather than just going plus equals gravity times delta, it's velocity y plus gravity times delta. And the minimum value is 0 and the maximum value is data dot terminal velocity. There we go. And clamp F. One. Okay, I'm still dumb. It's affecting the jump speed as well. I'm going to need to separate the entire thing out if I want to do a terminal velocity, aren't I? It's not that simple. Motion. Because yeah, I want it to be a simple solution, but I'm thinking we're going to need to do like a separate gravity for falling and jumping. We technically already do, but it's just the number we pass in here, not the or we go back to what it was. And surely, I thought for surely, like, the velocity of y equals the minimum of the two. Like, am I crazy for thinking that works? Or have I got the number around the wrong way? Data.terminal velocity is 320. When you're falling, it's a positive number. Like, the reason it didn't work before is because it goes into the negatives. So I guess you could have like a negative, you could go anywhere between these two velocities. It kind of looks like it's working. Yeah, okay, it is working. Okay. I don't know how I didn't get it working the first time. That's weird. Maybe I missed something. Do a VOD review later. Pathfinding of these guys sucks. Okay, so now we have a minimal terminal velocity. The animations look a bit funny. I think that's to do with the frame rate. We can change the frame rate to 60. Just to make sure that that's the case. Otherwise, there's something else I'm going to have to look into. Run, frame delay, common, limits. Where is it? Vomit, draft good, polish later. Yeah. Wait, am I crazy? What? Frame, physics, rendering, lights and shadows. you can set the frame rate in the debug, right? In the project settings. Waifu shareholder meeting, no lose appendages, feature implemented. She's only played Mario. So that's why she's like, it doesn't play like Mario. It's like, no, because I'm not making Mario. Forgot where it is. I just type FPS and search, but oh, FPS, that's probably it. Rather than, yeah, see, I've got 120 as the default. Max FPS. If I do 60 or 75, I can't remember what my screen runs at. One of my computers runs at 75, one of them runs at 60. Because I'm a cheapskate. I think this one is the right one, because it looks... Oh yeah, now it doesn't look funky. Right. Okay, so now we have a terminal velocity. I'm not super into it, but it's there. I think it should be a bit quicker, to be honest. Sometimes these dudes get stuck. It's good though, because he's always on screen, so like he doesn't come off screen, so I guess that's okay. And now the down slam is always going to be faster. So if I get some height here and then fall and then press the down slam, it's going to still feel like I'm doing something, you know? Although you can't really see, you almost come off screen there, but I guess that's okay because we want you to do this on top of an enemy, you know? Like we want you to come down and be like, boink. How that happens is a whole other question. I have to create like a hitbox at the bottom and then signal back to say that it was successful and then go into jump, I think is the way to do it. But unfortunately I have to go to work. So I have to end stream. I'm sure my co-workers are bugging me already because it's a very important time of the month for us. So I will send you on to someone else who's making a very beautiful game. Hope you all have a good day. I'll see you on Saturday. Rating